You on mute.
Hey, okay.
Hey, be
Hold
back.
on, I have to fix the graphic. Okay, what's up, y'all? Welcome to If You Like It. I love it. It's your favorite candy lady, Miss I Candy, and I got my girl Karma Fox. And y'all, guess what we're talking about? The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 16, the finale, and everything that follows. Now, we said we wasn't talking about it, but hey, we talking about it. I'm so happy we get to wrap this show up and we ain't like leave it incomplete. I have an issue of leaving stuff incomplete. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that we're able to complete this.
I'm glad they gave me something to talk about because whether it was going to be an incomplete or fail, if it wasn't good, I wasn't going to talk about it.
That's gonna be their fault. It wouldn't have been our fault.
It wouldn't have been, yeah, I wouldn't have had nothing. So
Right.
I'm glad they gave something that we could feel this week.
Right. So I actually watched it yesterday and I did not take notes. So I was thinking we weren't talking about it. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of watching it.
All right. I watched it today when
Okay.
I found out we was going to talk about it.
Right.
Like
Okay.
at 12 or 1 o'clock today on
So
Peacock.
it's fresh in your head. Okay.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
We just gonna go. I don't even think we gotta go in order, you know, like a review. We'll just do a recap of stuff that stood out, what we thought, and then we'll move on to the aftermath. Okay. If we got a 40-minute show, you get a 40-minute show. I'm tired, so we're gonna do this. Okay, here we go. So I know just insignificant thing, not insignificant, but stuff that just like was quick. Kenya and Brooklyn, her dad situation. She told her dad about wanting to have another baby. At first, he was like, "You don't need to be having another baby. You almost died." And she said, "Well, I'm thinking of surrogate." He said, "Okay." So she's still contemplating using Mark's, sperm for her baby, and I still don't think it's a good idea. At the end of the show, they said that Mark had moved, and then he filed a claim for have Kenya in contempt for something. Like, girl, don't have no more babies by this person. Like, you gonna have the longest divorce ever. I promise you, it's gonna take 10 years. It took Halle Berry 8 years to get divorced. It's gonna take Kenya 10, and you want to make more babies with him. That is just more issues. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm not saying that as someone that's not a Kenya fan, because y'all know I don't be seeing it for Kenya. However, I don't want to see this woman go through this much trouble with this man. Like, I don't dislike her as a person. I dislike her character on the Housewives. You know what I mean? Like, outside of Housewives, I think they all put on for these shows, first of all. I don't think Kenya is truly like this outside. That's why I'd be like, girl, like in the 90s, I looked up to you as a brown-skinned beauty. Why are you this mean? But I feel like she does it because it's for TV, and she knows somebody got to be the villain. She just don't mind being a damn villain. But I don't want her to have to go through such a harsh divorce and be dragged through the mud and somebody, you know what I mean? Like, and if she had his, and then again, we talked about this before, but what is that child? How is that child going to feel when Brooklyn is having visitation with her dad and Brooklyn gets to be around that family, but this other baby isn't? And technically it's his kid too. Like, I just feel like that's messy. And I understand the desperation of wanting to have a baby and want it to be yours and already having these embryos, but I just feel like it's going to be more problems. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's good. I think it's more selfish reasons than selfless reasons that you want to do this. That's just my thought.
These are great questions. Production should have asked her in confessional.
Yeah, for sure. What else happened? I'm not going to talk about Drew. We see Candy. They're doing the wrap for, the movie The Past, which is out now on Peacock, guys. I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of people have been doing reviews. I'm going to try to watch it this evening. So we see they got a trailer for that, and they're getting ready to have a cast wrap party showcasing the trailer so people can, see it and get excited about the movie. Marlo is still Betty and Scott Lee and talking about the situation with the boys, bringing them on the boys. She has some type of, I guess she styles people too. So she had like him come to where she do the styling for the people. He's fine. I watch him, and y'all listen. The other day, I was like scrolling through TV, and I strolled to like a what's that Hell's Kitchen or one of them chef shows where you like.
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen. I love Hell's
Scott Lee
Kitchen.
was
with
on
Gordon
that.
Ramsay.
Scott Lee was on that show.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, I didn't know that, but I had actually was scrolling and it was on, and I saw this black dude, and I was like, hey, that's one of those dudes. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's him. He looked younger. He looked better now. He wasn't not cute then, but he just looked way better now. He looked more polished.
He got a little money.
He do.
Yeah, I keep telling y'all, there is no such thing as ugly people. It's just broke people. It's just broke people. If you are able to have money where you can get touch-ups and haircuts and hair done and glam squad, everybody would be looking like that person.
Yeah. Or looking their best, at least. Some people.
How about that? Or they'll pay someone to make them look the best. It ain't no ugly. It's just broke. You just broke.
Yeah. But I actually was watching Marlo and Scott Lee, and again, I don't know if I believe their relationship. You know, like I'm not into that, but he's a very handsome man. Them Jamaican men got something going for them. I don't know what it is, but the little voice, the way they talk, it's like a real smooth demeanor. You be like, ooh.
Better be careful, girl.
I know.
In Safari Jamaican.
Yes. But Safari got that about him too. That voice, he's smooth, like,
and he got that thing.
So I just like to look from afar. But Scott Lee got it going on, Marlo. Like I'm gonna give it to you. Even if it's a storyline, it's better than paying for Walter, okay? Because Walter was not it.
Listen, I'm scared of Jamaican men because I be seeing it's like they put a spell on people, you know what I'm saying? And they seem to be having them dangs. That's why Safari got that love. We crossing that dang went over like 3 crossovers of love and hip hop. That dang went to Hollywood. It slept in Miami. It went to New York, like Atlanta. Like I don't want that dang.
I feel you. I feel you 100,000%. I'm scared of that. But even Peter, even when Peter was on the show, he was an old Uncle Ben gentleman, gray, but he was smooth though. He was smooth. It's something about their demeanor. So I gotta shout out to the Jamaicans. You know, Bumbleclot. We see y'all. We see y'all. Sanya was doing the pregnancy situation. You know, going to Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie had told her like she wished she ain't tell the son, but Sanya got excited and said it anyway. That's a big thing too. Like, and that's why people were saying that situation with Haley Bailey, like she might not want to say nothing because the first trimester. That is very like a scary, time because people miscarry. That's usually more common to miscarry in the first trimester. So you have to tell people and announce it because then you got to announce miscarriage and you got to deal with that and process that yourself. Also have to tell people, you know what I mean? So I totally understand that why Dr. Jackie was saying that. But I also understand being excited and wanting to share it, with your kid. So
let me tell you, that scene with her and her mom in the bedroom, that was the most like I have been connected to Sanya in these little 2 seasons she been on. Yeah. When she was crying and talking about what she had to tell Deuce and all of that. Yeah. I like the vulnerability and authenticity in that scene for sure.
I have moments where I like Sanya. A lot of people don't like Sanya. I want to say Sanya because it's Tanya, but no, a lot of people don't like Sanya. But I have moments when I like her, and I think it's because I've seen her in a reality show before. I just don't like her in this show. But I think she's a nice person or whatever, and we know she's in a better space now. But it was definitely a moment. Who else did we see? We didn't see nothing about Moneyetta. We didn't see nothing about Courtney.
Yes, we did, but Moneyetta and them was at the end. So we saw the soft opening of Kenya's spa, which looked beautiful.
Yeah, that was at the end. Okay, I feel like we got played this season. I'm gonna really say that. Because
come on now, Team Twirl.
Because Kenya supposedly had a lot that she filmed. I was seeing that it was like at her opening, and another moment where she had Cynthia, where we didn't get to see Cynthia, where she was in the trailer, but we didn't see her. But then we eventually saw Cynthia. She also had Eva come back. We didn't see Eva, so she had some moments, and they weren't showing it. They could have showed her really building this place. Like we only saw the beginning of it, not the other hard work. Back in the day, we used to see them building. We saw them building Chateau Charest forever. So
we saw that pile of dirt forever. And you
right,
telling
so
me
why
we
wouldn't they
couldn't
show
follow
Kenya's?
her story?
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
We've seen
That's
Candy
crazy.
build restaurants. We saw like
You done seen
we
Candy
saw
build every
Drew do her
single
video
damn thing
shoot.
she had.
We seen Marlo do her wig launch. We seen all kind. Now Kenya ruined that, but we saw Cynthia do Bailey Agency. She had that restaurant. So why couldn't we see Kenya build her business? Like I'm
Come
I
on, Teen
personally
Squirrel.
I personally feel like production has a lot to answer for with making Kenya this person that people really don't like. Because y'all can show us other stuff besides her just being mean. You know what I mean? But they always want to show her sarcastic, mean, and like, come on, give us something else with Kenya.
Well, I feel like that's what a lot of reality stars try to get across, but they can't articulate. When they say things like it's the edit, I don't think they're saying, no, I didn't say that. It's that they're not showing you the totality of who they are as a person.
Right.
And therefore they're only giving us a certain narrative or image of the particular person, right? So like when we take somebody, even some of the more polarizing people like Tamar and all of them, like, you know, we only see Tamar having temper tantrums.
Right.
You know, I couldn't tell you too much else if it is an edit to that or not, because all I saw was that. So if all you gave us that is different. But if there are other components to people, I think people also want to see an evolution of people,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Nobody want to see the same person in the same capacity for 15 seasons. So we want to see Kenya grow. Now I know that Kenya has a mean girl streak. I've said that multiple times. That Kim Field season was horrendous of how she treated Kim too.
Yeah.
But Kenya has also had these very soft moments. She's also had really great friendships with Cynthia. There are other components and sides to Kenya. And I'm sure it is with all of the girls, and we don't really get to see that. Sometimes we just see certain things highlighted, and that's where we get the term characters, even though it's supposed to be your real life. It's as if they played y'all as characters on this ensemble,
Yeah.
and only picked out what they felt like would be entertaining for us, and that's where it is.
I just feel like Kenya gets played with that, and this is like, y'all gotta hear me for this, because this is someone that is not a Kenya fan, right?
She is not.
And I feel like the reason I'm not a Kenya fan is because of production. And let me explain. There was one season where I hated Nene's guts. Like, it's on, if y'all look through my YouTube videos back when I was reviewing Housewives of Atlanta, back when it was booming and the cast was popping. Remember when Nene first got that Trump check? And she came back like, oh, these
after her, you talking about after she came back from Glee and New Normal and all that?
And act like
that was a whole different nigga from that point on.
Was a straight asshole, and I could not. I mean, I spent every review going in on Nene. I could not stand Nene,
and I didn't like Nene. I didn't like her portrayal when Greg was sick. That was I think that was the cameraman year.
Yeah, for sure.
And we knew she was going through, obviously, Greg having cancer. But however it was edited, y'all had Nene looking like she was a horrendous caregiver.
Right, they did.
A horrendous person and a horrendous friend.
Right.
That season. So, you know,
I had to like take a step back, because I watched that season. I was going off on Nene too, but I also was like, they're not showing us the other side of it, because when you are a caregiver, which I am now, sometimes you do have those moments where the people that you're taking care of are mean to you, and they, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're trying to be a jerk, but it's a reaction of it's so much that you finally be like, man, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, I don't think they were giving Nene a fair, you know what I mean? Like
a fair edit. And that's that's pretty much what Kenya said with Carlos King, you know, on her interview, is when it comes to Marlo and the way that they edited her this year, it was extremely confusing. I still cannot recall the episode where Marlo apologized to Kenya for kicking in her goddamn door with her baby back there.
Right.
I don't recall a conversation about that. She kept talking about Kandi and her nephew, but I cannot recall her ever apologizing to Kenya Summer Moore about you kicking in that door when y'all were in Alabama. And then y'all just jump from that to her, the next time we see her or whatever, she doing the life coach or the nephews or the orphan
I got a
thing.
yeah.
Like what?
Off all of a sudden. Yeah, because she was real. The first half it was like this, and then the other half is like
very aggressive, and then by the end of it, she up here giving out awards.
Even with the editing and the way they make someone look bad, which they do, I feel like with Kenya, they ain't even giving her nothing. Like with Nene, right? We're able to one season see Nene's a straight up asshole, but we're able to see her redeem herself. We're able to see her turn it around and actually do some nice stuff, build some businesses. Like, you know what I mean? We can see Nene is human. We can see some stuff. With Kenya, they don't give her that. Like, they don't show nothing but her being a mean girl, and they'll give us little tiny specks of stuff. Like she was with her dad, now she ain't seen her dad in forever. Well, how did that happen? How come we ain't never heard that she ain't been talking to her damn daddy? Y'all done filmed her all these seasons.
She ain't got that many family members.
Right,
so why is she not talking?
Seriously, from when she was like with her dad, the last season I watched her dad be on there to now, they didn't tell us that they fell apart or nothing. Like, how are y'all not giving us
the last season? Was the last season we saw dad was Matt?
Was
Matt, right? When he came to talk to him, right?
But we didn't hear they fell out. That's why when she said Brooklyn is just now meeting my dad, I was like, what? Like, it was confusing. So the thing is, like, I was under the impression that Kenya wasn't giving them anything. Like, she was being private, didn't want her life out there like that. No, Kenya has been filming and they ass ain't been showing it. That's where it's messed up. It ain't even the edits. Y'all done cut everything Kenya's life out, and that's not fair. I don't like that. And I will as a non-Kenya person. And I think that is why every season I try to give Kenya a new chance to redeem herself, because usually these women are redeeming themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Kenya ain't did nothing to nobody this season, if we want to be honest.
I mean, Kenya has had mean girl asshole moments, but she ain't done nothing to piss me off this season like that.
That's what I'm like. Kenya ain't really did nothing this season because y'all ain't really showed her this season. I mean, let's be for real. What was her mean girl moment? What with Courtney? What was it giving? She really didn't did nothing to nobody this season.
I didn't like the way she did Moneta when they got dressed. It was just certain little small stuff that they show her doing. I feel like they do it on purpose.
But I feel like them little small moments like that.
Because it's people like me that don't like her, that's used to her being mean, they show that and nothing else. And it's like, oh yeah, there she go, being a bitch again. And it ain't even nothing big, it's small, but you don't ever let me see Kenya redeem herself. You don't ever.
I disagree with that part though, because I think too though that the RHOA fans or any fans of a show, we could talk about BMF or any show that's big where people are fans of certain people or certain characters on the show, y'all see, it's like a tunnel vision thing. Because if that's all you can think of is these small minor moments, but you can think of a season like the Kim Field season where she was just constantly mean to Kim, mean to Cynthia, like all these other people, that means that y'all have the tunnel vision when it comes to Kenya. Y'all haven't seen her as redeemable.
But I feel like we haven't seen her as redeemable because they don't give it to us.
But she ain't did nothing this season to give you that.
That's what they're not giving us nothing.
To still hate her even this season is like, but for what? Because those are little small moments.
But that's all they give us of her. That's what I'm saying. Like, they could have showed her building her salon and talking to her staff and show her being nice to her staff. Show her, okay, yeah, I like this, guys. You're building this. We don't see nothing. We see absolutely nothing. We see her with Brooklyn, and that is when she's nice. That's when we like, okay, she's a good mom. She love her. We see that, and that's it. They don't give, and then it's little tiny surface moments with Brooklyn, and then you show us her wanting to have Mark's baby again. Like, y'all not giving us nothing on Kenya, and I feel
and they don't add. And like I said, when you were asking questions, that production doesn't ask in the confessionals, they also don't allow sometimes for us to go deeper with all of them on the cast, right? Like sometimes we have them looking dumb, like Drew and Ralph. I think we tired. We tired. I hope Drew tired because we tired, right?
Yeah.
And when we first was introduced to Ralph and Drew 3 seasons ago, and they had to explain to her what gaslighting was, I felt like that could have had more questions with her too.
Yeah.
Like, so has he always been doing this? Has there always, like, we don't really get to dive deeper with them in the confessionals as much as I wish they would utilize them for. They should be asking to me the questions as the fan or the observer.
Right.
Because the people that's in it
asked a lot of questions. We asked a lot of questions.
Like, them professionals should be the vloggers and bloggers in your mind, and as someone that's just watching, what you would want to know or what you would want to ask them in those confessionals.
If not in the confessionals, because the bloggers and stuff don't get it until after all that stuff is filmed, right? Those after shows should definitely have the real questions. Like them, they should really get to it. And honestly,
but are they not watching what we watching? Like, I don't need you to. I don't need you to
not because
like you can wait on if there were additional questions you didn't ask, but you can't look at the scenario and common sense ask some questions your ass want to know from that scene.
Right? Yeah.
Like, okay, Marlo, I understand you upset with Kandi, but why are you waiting this long? Like, you are confused,
right? Yeah. Well, no, because they editing certain stuff out, and they already know the damn answers.
So that's what I don't like. You ain't gotta wait on our reviews, but goddamn, I would have been filming, and I couldn't wait to confession be like, so Courtney,
right?
You said you never used the term bitch.
What did you mean?
What did you mean? Because here it is, right here. We done already got you the
look,
foot.
You see, look,
there you go.
You did it.
You said it.
Okay.
Are you gonna apologize?
Okay, so the other person that it updated was Drew and Ralph. That's what the episode was really about. So I don't know if it's the editing, because again, we're hearing that it's editing, and then after, like, the aftermath, a lot of people don't believe Drew takes stuff on 10 and Drew be, acting stuff out or whatever. But Ralph was a straight up dickhead on this episode to me.
How did you feel about that whole situation? So they she was telling him about Courtney.
Well, you know what? It starts with Ralph moved out of the bedroom because she was filming. He didn't take her filming as a real work, because he was like, I have to really work. And it's like, nigga, she been filming for 10 straight days, like having like 16-hour shoot sets, only sleeping for a few hours, having to handle the kids, then get back to filming. What do you mean she ain't working? Like, that was weird. So he moved out of the room because her coming in at 3 or 4 in the morning was disrupting his sleep, right? And then she had mentioned that she had only got an hour of sleep and had to get up and get the kids ready for school. He like, well, I've been trying to help. Like, but that made me mad. I was already irritated. So then she mentions the Courtney thing and how there is a video of Courtney calling her a bitch or whatever, or referring to her as a bitch, or I don't know. Initially, I thought that she was calling Sonya a bitch. Like,
my thing is, regardless, you told us you don't even use that language.
Right.
You lied already.
Right.
So now we gonna say it was to Drew, and I don't even care if it was to Mel.
Okay.
Because you told us you never even say the word.
Right. So she shows Ralph this, and Ralph looks at it, and he like, okay. Like, it ain't even like bother him, right? And his reasoning was, Marlo's called you a bitch, Candy's called you a bitch, other, you know what I mean? Like, at one point you were gonna chase all these girls. Now I can understand that, however,
no, because Marlo and all of them are forming a relationship, and they are co-stars on this little girl is your play cousin.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. This is your family. This is your family. So that's why I feel like it's a difference, because
it's family. They're like cousins-in-law.
Right. I was wondering, are they blood? Are they blood? Are they blood? Really?
No. Okay. Let's just use our common sense here. So they the first time they hugged.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, such and such. Oh yeah, I didn't grow up with blah blah blah. Oh, we're cousins." What part? What real life scenario has anyone been in and y'all found out y'all was cousins? What? Because in that scene, how it was edited, there was no conversation about family or where you grew up to connect some dots. How did y'all already know to introduce yourselves with this familiar
with a little bit of information?
Because that didn't make sense to me then, but I waited. I said, I'm gonna wait. Courtney speak on it. Did it confirm what I felt in my spirit? And I feel like that's why she was shady. I think.
And that's what I was wondering too, girl. I was like, okay, so because that was my only question about the speak on it. Like, I know you probably got a lot, but my question, because I was real irritated by her keep saying Ralph told me. Okay, but but let me keep going with the episode. So Ralph did not want to defend Drew, and Drew was like, if I'm upset with somebody and they upset your spouse, you're supposed to defend your spouse. And he kind of don't agree. It don't work like that. And I was like, see, this right here is why people get divorced, because it absolutely needs to work like that. Like, if someone disrespects my partner, I'm not okay with that. Period. Like, that's not okay. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, oh, like, no. And if it's somebody that's supposed to be my friend or my family or play family or whatever, I'm gonna have a conversation. That ain't cool. That's not acceptable. What you gonna do? We cutting you off, or you apologizing? You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be just some, oh, whatever. I was really irritated with that, but I was already irritated because the dude wasn't in the bedroom because he didn't feel like she was working. and we don't know what he do in technology still to this day. So I was
technology. I thought it was consulting, or is it consulting in technology?
When Marlo said technology, remember that was a thing. I work in technology like your husband.
He said something prior to that, like last season or the season before that, he was a consultant when he was first introduced to us.
Hey, my fine friend, what's up, boo?
We wrapping up, bro. We just, hop in and join in. We talking about Ralph and Drew right now. I thought they said at first Ralph was a consultant, and then Marlo said he was IT, and then Drew said he was auditioning to be a stripper.
A stripper, yes. And what is he doing that he's working so much? Like, okay. Anyway, anyway, so they go and they meet with Dr. Ken, and they have their session with him, which is a tragedy. It is not okay. This
is why I would never do couple therapy sessions, because his face. I will work primarily with youth, and I will not do a couple session, because that's back and forth and that gaslighting he did.
Yes.
My God.
I get triggered with gaslighting, so I kind of like zoned out after a while watching that them in that session, because Ralph was just really making me angry. He just doesn't care about his wife.
He don't care.
He don't like her
wife. And I don't know how much clearer that he does. He may love Drew. Yeah. He does not like his wife
at all. Does not like, and he's already checked out. And when it's that far gone, it's over. It's
over.
It's over.
That therapy session when he looked at her and said, "When is enough?" Mm-hmm. I felt that, because Drew, like, the paint is so clear on the wall, honey. He don't like you
at all.
Like, y'all don't even like each other. He's not interested in reconnecting. He said he had to do what was best for him and sleep in another bedroom. He don't care that the kids is upset. He don't care about none of that. He wants
he feels liberated. He feels liberated. He feels great.
He feel great without them kids and you. That's what I heard. Now, I'm a Cancer, and sometimes I interpret a little extra in my ear. But what that was giving me was, I feel real liberated without being around my family.
Yes.
Because you said you don't care about the kids either with their feelings.
And then we skip to the next day, it seemed like, or the next scene where they're pretending to be this loving couple to go to the rap party for, Drew, for this movie, The Past. And it was amazing to watch that, because as someone who has been in a marriage where you've had to fake the funk, when you turn it on for the people.
And I really wasn't mad at that. I felt like that was actually authentic.
Yeah,
and
you do that.
A lot of
you do that.
That you don't go outside this house.
Yeah, but your problem. You do. That's what we've been seeing all of these seasons that Drew's been in here, was them faking it for the fun and trying to fake it on the show to us, but the stuff start unraveling. That's when I was like, okay, see now, woman to woman, you know, ex-wife to future ex-wife watching this, I can understand that, because I totally understand how when you do finally decide to split and everybody is like, wait, what are you talking about? Because you faked the funk for so long in front of people. Y'all don't get to see the problems. Y'all don't get to see us, you know what I mean? But behind closed doors, baby, it'd be like, you know, so I did understand that aspect. One thing that was interesting, though, was once they got there, Ralph was like out there on the floor talking to people while Drew's in the back trying to like prepare, because she's actually going to perform her song. So we don't see her do oohs and ahs. We can actually see she can sing. But we see Ty, Mimi's ex-fiance, back there. Like, and she's like, hey, Ty. And we know that rumor had come out since this filming that her and Ty had a thing going on. So it was interesting to see Ty back there, like, who's that? What's going on there? One thing that happened at the rap party was, as the girls are all greeting each other, hey, Courtney tries to greet Drew's sister, Allison. Now, Allison did get into it with Ralph, because Drew had explained to Allison about the Courtney thing. And then Allison, that kind of went off on Ralph, like, how you not gonna have my sister's back? Like, as a sister would. I like Allison.
And I want more.
I like Allison. I'd rather give Allison the peach, because I want more information about Allison.
Allison is saving Drew for me. Like, sure. I need to see more of that dynamic, and I need to see Allison back, because the way that she checked Ralph and said, I don't care if it was a banana. You talking about Marla. I don't care if it was a banana. She's telling you she don't like it. Right. Now you bringing me involved in it. I ain't even said nothing yet. Stop playing with me. Stop upsetting her.
Right.
I love Allison.
I do too. I like the way she stood for her sister. And that's what you're supposed to do, is stand for your sister. When somebody mess with your sister, Funky Dineva, is you defend your sister. You don't let people sit and troll and talk about and hurt your sister when you see your sister being hurt, bullied, or humiliated by somebody. Funky Dineva, you step up for your sister. Okay. So anyway, at the actual event, Courtney tried to greet Allison. Allison was like, "Oh, no, I'm not gonna. Don't do that, because you lied to me in my face by saying you don't use the word bitch, but I seen the video where you did, and you said about my sister." So then Courtney was like, "We don't need to do this here. Let's go over here." So they go over there and talk about it, and then Drew come in, whatever. But I do like that Allison is a real one. Allison don't play. I'm like that too. I don't hug people on rock with. We ain't about to fake the funk. Like, oh, hey girl, no. Don't even say hi. It don't have to be a scene or a moment. But don't speak to me. I won't speak to you. Keep it moving.
I didn't know her zodiac sign, because as soon as she saw Courtney, I knew what time it was. Now that I found out you done call my sister what you call, I don't care if we at this rap party or whatever. I need to talk to you now. So you want to come? I love the way she said, you want to come talk privately over here, because we're having this conversation.
We're going to talk about it. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. So you want to be in front of everybody or over here?
Because Ralph was too much of a punk to step up and say it. I got it. That's her baby sister, and I ain't mad at her. So we get to they see the trailer. They like the trailer. It's really great. We see Drew. She performed. She does a great job.
And we see Ty. And we see Ty
again. And we hear that Drew has said to Monyetta, if her and Ralph didn't work out, she was going to kick it with her crush. And it's like, who's your crush? Ty. Oh, Miss, I don't kiss girls. You got a crush on a girl? Oh, really? Okay. So then they wrap the show, right? We think it's over. But nah, Drew and Ralph filed for divorce, so they start filming again. They get some confessions. So then we found out that Sanya actually miscarried her baby, which was really sad. Sheree, her father passes away. Rest in peace. Really sad. Sorry, about that. And all
we didn't even know your daddy was sick.
Huh?
Did we even know her dad was sick?
No.
This is what I mean by I don't understand why Sheree has been able to stay on this show past like season 4, like after the divorce with Bob. because after that, it's like she knew to not be vulnerable or give any personal story. From there, she becomes the bone carrier and all of the theatrics of it. She ain't gave us nothing since Bob, the divorce, the tax issues, and the mansion building. Nothing. Nada.
At all. I was very say I don't even remember what her update was.
She had Fibroids that we only talked about maybe twice this season, and
her and Martell are friends. Her and Martell are friends, and that's it. Okay, so Kandi did not get a Tony, but the pass is out, and she's still trying to be an EGOT, and Kandi's doing great. Kenya, again, we saw that Mark is dragging this out even longer and then had her in contempt for court for some bull crap. Girl, do not use his seeds, okay? Marlo is still friends with Scott Lee. Okay. Drew and Ralph divorce.
Bro, that season gonna be good. We gotta bring Drew back just because I gotta see what happened. And I believe that Ty's your sister. I think y'all do this. Because one thing I will say is Mimi told us this months ago that that broke months ago, right? Mimi's the one that told us on a YouTube channel that the things was gonna come to the light with that situation. And as long as we've known Mimi, I don't recall Mimi making shit up either. Like just making up a lie. So
Mimi don't do that though, except for the sex tape. Now she did.
She told us she didn't do the sex tape, which is to me not the same as like I'm gonna make something up about somebody. Right. That was in defense. They said, "Hey, we heard you got a sex tape," and she said no. Right. So that was like a defense mechanism. I ain't ready to tell y'all my business and all of that. But she ain't never just say, "Oh, Jessica Dime slept with," like I ain't never heard her make nothing up.
And Mimi came out telling us this like she was kind of upset, like, they got some shit going on. Like Ty was, this was my fiance, and look what she's doing.
And she cheated, and she did.
Yeah, said she was trying to work it out with me and her ass button because she was over there with Drew Sador. She gave us the tea, like it was like, you know what I mean?
And she loved her some Ty. And I loved it for her because I feel like we all knew Mimi was gay.
Yeah, exactly.
And at first people thought she was just doing it for TV, but no, because she already had threesomes and stuff. I was ready for Mimi to come out. I was ready for it. So yeah, I believe she really messed with Ty heavy. I don't think this is for.
Oh no, Mimi was really with Ty. Mimi was with Ty. That was her boo.
That lady's Beyonce.
For sure. So aftermath, after the show, Kandi did a speak on it. Right, where she had Courtney on a speak on it. Now, in this speak on it, Courtney was a whole hot mess, and Kandi has since pulled it because it got so much backlash.
Back up,
huh?
It's back up. It's just edited.
Oh, so she took stuff out, but it's out there. The stuff that she tried to edit is still out there. Because my girl Jay Lee's Corner on YouTube.
Jay Lee said, This is what she said. But them blogs picked that audio up.
Yes. So she was doing a whole bunch of talking about Allison and mental health is what's really made everybody upset. Like kind of making it seem like it wasn't real. And
let me tell y'all.
Isn't she a crisis manager? Like that's her job, right? So it's weird for her to be even any way being insensitive about mental health. The thing, like a lot of people were mad about that, and I understand, rightly so, being upset about that. What pissed me off was she kept trying to give us tea off of what she heard from Ralph. Well, yeah, because Ralph told me this, and when Ralph said, and Ralph and I discussed it, and it was like you talking about Ralph like he your man, not your cousin. It was very weird energy to me, and I was uncomfortable watching. Did you get that vibe, or is that just me? Like, am I a pervert or something? Because I really was like, why is she talking about this dude like he her man?
Well, let's be clear, that's not her cousin. Let's be clear, that is not her cousin. Okay. They said they were cousins. Nobody even asked them how they were related. They just came to this epiphany within one time of meeting each other that they were cousins.
Right.
Two, and y'all know I love Kandi, bust them down. And so because I love Kandi and because I am her future girlfriend, I'm gonna have to hold Kandi Yams to the carpet, because the issue with this entire speak on it wasn't that she allowed Courtney to be on the platform for me. It was that she wasn't pushing back.
Right.
Right. So you keep keying with her laughing about Alice's mental health and saying things like, well, she didn't look like she had mental health issues. And then when I heard her story, that's when I started. It was just bad all around. It was just bad. And for Drew to, and I don't care for Drew like that, but I really felt bad for Drew, because I'm like, okay, Kandi Yams, you got mad at Manetta for not sticking up the way you wanted her to, or expected her to with Marlo. You and Drew have an issue, right? And I don't think it's that deep of an issue to let this lady come on this platform and say shit like, I've been more of a friend in 6 months than
she has been a wife. Girl.
Or she's exploiting her sister and her mental health. And Ralph told me she was a liar. For you to be letting all of that slide when Drew is going through a crisis in her household as a friend, just say you're not that girlfriend, then friend, because this was bad. And if it was me, I would have told Kandi, you can just delete that. You ain't even got to put that back up.
Right.
Don't even put that back up, because now we found out Drew's dad has passed away since this was filmed. Now they said that this was filmed months ago, so before Drew's passing or whatever the case may be. But the comments were so disgusting regardless, that either you should have pushed back in the interview and said, when she said, I've been more to a friend in 6 months than him in 8 years, and you kind of was like, I would have said, how so? You think that's okay? Well, you used to be married. Is that a comment you would be okay with saying? Like, you needed to push back.
Okay, and you're right. The way she defended him, you just like made me realize something. Like, again, yes, we don't know that they're family or whatever, but it's kind of like that blind defense, like Ariane does for Martell. Like,
right. I know a possible coleslaw when I hear it.
Yeah, like she's defending on some dumb stuff. Like, how do you know what he's telling you?
Salad tip side.
Come on, coleslaw. Like, I think it's just like Ariane. Well, because the kids. How do you know about this lady's kids? How do you know that?
Because Ralph said. So now, once again, so you done became so close to Ralph within 6 months, where he told you to look out for his wife because his wife be lying. He told you about his wife, and you still thought that was okay, Courtney. Something ain't adding up for me. Something is not adding up to me. And this cousin stuff sound like, in the hood where your nick be like, this my best friend, or this my cousin and my sister, but they really be. Ralph, it's given you brought your side piece on this show and disguised it as a cousin.
If that comes out, karma.
That's what it's given to me. And I'm gonna wait on it. This is allegedly, but this is what it's given. This is what it's given for me. This is what it's given for me.
That is deep.
This is what it's given for me.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to make that a snippet
because I believe that Drew cheated on Ralph with Ty. Allegedly. I believe that, though. Allegedly. And I think she did it after you cheated on her. I think she did it in response to what's going on in the marriage.
In Tampa?
And Tampa and all that.
In Tampa?
No, I believe Ralph has been swinging and dangling and dingling all over. I don't think he was going to audition either.
Okay.
I think Ralph has been doing him, and he has been mentally checked out of that marriage. And I think he's an habitual cheater. And I think she got Ty in response. And while everybody keeps saying stuff like, well, Courtney is a PR crisis person, so how is she not knowing what to say? Because she's crisising her goddamn man. Right. She's trying to make y'all think her real man, Ralph, ain't as bad as he looks.
How is that going to my question is, how do you think Courtney would clear up the Ralph situation? Like, if she comes out later, with me and Ralph go together. How they gonna do that?
She gonna listen. They gonna wait until after the divorce. If they do it, they gonna wait till after the divorce is
Right,
final.
but once the divorce is final, you introduce us as your cousin.
And they gonna listen. They gonna pull a Portia on this. They gonna make some shit up that don't add up, and they're gonna pull a Portia. And she probably won't be on the show. She probably won't even have to answer to it. Like Portia left, a quick little exit to the point we're gonna forget what happened. So she don't have to answer to the criticism. They're just gonna disappear in the wind. I mean, the husbands don't stay on RHOA. Okay, so once their divorce is finalized, even if Courtney comes back as a friend of the show, Courtney is gonna try and get that peach. And she,
for sure.
I think people don't realize how strategic Courtney is. People keep thinking Courtney just saying stuff out the side of her mouth. No pun intended, because I know it's literally to the side, but I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about figuratively. People thinking she's not strategic, and to me, that speak on it was strategic. No. She has been in a position where I feel like she is trying to rebrand Ralph's image, and she's going to make Drew look like, because we already know Drew laughed, right? Now we got this Ty stuff. She's going to make it seem like Drew is the reason why this marriage ended and not Ralph.
We don't care though. But
how she's saying she a crisis person, and how is she saying this? Because her man is the client. Allison is not her client.
Courtney, it ain't gonna work for you. We don't care. We're okay with Drew getting her lick back with Ty. We really don't care. That's not something that we really care about. We don't. So if that's what happened, she decided to get her lick back with Ty, and she good. Okay, more power to you, girl.
But see, we still got the reunion coming up. So we got the pictures coming that Sheree done got. And you see that Courtney said that she knew Sheree. Now Sheree got the pictures at the reunion. Y'all keep thinking Courtney ain't playing chess. That little girl give me vindictive chess moving pieces. She up there arguing with Kandi on the first day out of nowhere off of nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all think she ain't moving pieces to get that?
So we got the reunion now. We got the reunion. You think it's gonna be a 3-part reunion? It don't need to be.
No, it's only a 2-part. But by the time this is all said and done, I will not be surprised if Courtney won't aim for that peach. Because at that point, she would have so much controversy, and we have already been following her, that people will want to see her on TV just because of, okay, you sleeping with da-da-da. I think she's very strategic. I think if she's been doing it for as long as she says she's doing it, this is chess. This ain't checkers.
I wouldn't want to see her personally, but we'll see what happens.
People said that about Kim Zolciak until her ass got divorced. Y'all fickled. Well, a lot of drama is going on.
I don't want to see Kim.
But people have said that, oh, Kim's broke now. She's going through a divorce. We want to see her come back on the show. That's because even if you don't like the person, if they're entertaining, you will entertain the mess on the screen. And if Courtney can rile it up to the point that it's entertaining, people let her have that piece. They'll tear her up.
If we could fight her, then okay.
I think y'all gotta look at Courtney big picture. Courtney fit to get that.
And Drew lay hands on her. Drew's allowed to lay hands on her, then okay.
I ain't saying she gonna be liked, but what I am saying is she would spark them ratings up sky high if she come back with Ralph.
You know what? That'll be good, because then Kenya cannot be the villain, and I would be very happy with
so that's why I said don't think this ain't checkerboard pieces. And she said on her speak on it, that she knew Simon and worked with him, which means you knew Fallon too. Y'all thinking this girl ain't playing no chess. This girl's playing chess. Courtney gives me very devious, very vindictive.
That's crazy.
Very much calculated vibes. That speak on it confirmed everything my spirit couldn't put their finger on. You know how you don't like somebody and you be like,
and you can see finger on it.
Like that speak on it made me put my finger on it.
Why Kandi let her talk so much? So she could expose herself.
Absolutely, but in exposing herself, you exposed some of your character flaws too, because you could have pushed back while she was talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm still holding her to the carpet for that. I'm still holding her accountable for that. That I didn't like that. Kandi has to learn how to be more emotionally available. And pick up more empathy She has sympathy for people, like, oh, but it's like she doesn't feel or really understand the feeling because she's not in tune with her own feelings. And then she becomes tone deaf, like she did in this interview.
Yeah.
So she really needs to work on that. To be fair, she needs to work on that. But yeah, Courtney, mark it now. Mark this YouTube now. I'm telling y'all, she coming for that lady man, and she's gonna have a peach, and her PR crisis is to change route.
Where Bryce? Hey, Bryce, where you at?
Bryce was just something. Listen,
Bryce was
just the piece so she can bring something to the table. She said in her speak on it, well, I'm not dating anyone. You know, I got divorced. Me and Bryce co-parent this 25-year-old because we're still paying for her bills. We still have to talk to her, so we're still good friends. So she brought Bryce because she couldn't bring Ralph.
Girl, let me snip this video up so I can post this.
That lady is up here, PR crisis in her goddamn man. She gonna use it as the outrage to tell the network, you need to give me a peach. Because now Drew got real beef on the show, and I'm gonna skyrocket these goddamn ratings.
Well, that's
and so now that's a great segue because what we on a reboot, a possible reboot.
So yeah, that's the next topic and the last topic. Well, okay, Kenya was on Carlos King, and we kind of touched on that, like the parts I wanted to say as far as Kenya just not getting her just dues. That was all I really wanted to say when I saw her interview. She said a lot more. She talked about the Apollo situation. She talked about Portia. She talked about Marlo. But the biggest thing was how they are just doing her dirty. And I agree with that. I was just really irritated that she's not getting what I feel like she deserves to get. And I feel like it's calculated. And they're doing it to Kenya on purpose for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense. But she did mention it as well. A lot of fans have been asking for a reboot. We even said a revamp. So they're talking about scratching all of the castmates and just starting totally over.
Well, the Jasmine brand came out a couple hours before the podcast and said they are contemplating keeping 3 seasoned housewives, possibly Kandi, Sheree, and Kenya, and bringing two new people to the table. Or it might be Drew. I don't feel like Sheree's coming back, but allegedly 3 may be coming back. And then there's another report that says they're moving. The Peach report said they're removing Kandi off because they renewed Kandi in the game for season 2, and so she's still a part of the Bravo family, but will be rebooting the rest of the cast. And their theory is that's why Kenya was so vocal to Carlos King about her issues, because she already knows what's about to happen. And then the final rumor is that if the wait is the reunion, and depending on the reunion and how the viewers respond to it depends upon if they keep somebody, who would it be? But it may be a full reboot or a soft reboot, but reboot is happening. That's what I
need something. But I do feel like y'all can definitely bring Drew back because we need to finish this.
We gotta bring Drew back. I'm okay. I'm listening because I'm so sick of because Candy's still my boo thing. I'm so sick of people saying they sick of Kandi. I'm okay with Kandi leaving RHOA and going to Old Lady Gang because I can follow Kandi over there. Yeah, and she can still be on my TV screen. So then y'all can get what y'all asking for.
And Kandi can get another escape thing. Kandi got so many ideas and so many stuff to do.
But this season, even in this season, to me, they dropped the ball with Candy's storyline too. Why are we not following Kandi on the tour? So what happened? It was a Bravo show.
Right, exactly.
So why can't we see the dynamics between the 3? Right. Why are we not seeing her on the set? You should be following Kandi instead
Probably because if they do that, they have to film the other group members and they get a check. It's probably more that goes into that. But I do feel like if Kandi was this booked up, y'all should have followed her a lot more. Y'all didn't follow her a lot more. Y'all just gave us Kandi too busy. Kandi too busy. Well, show us that she busy. Show us how she busy.
Show us what she's doing. We don't have to keep having these ensemble group meetings and it don't make sense. This cast trip was one of the worst cast trips in history. I was in Portugal for 2.5 seconds. It was a horrible
Kandi went for one day. How long is that flight? She took a 16-hour flight to be there one day.
Because she had to make her check. They said they had
like
So Kandi had to do all of that for one damn day and get back on the
which is crazy.
Kandi, during that time frame. Y'all dropped the ball with Kandi. So and so I also say this. So y'all been harassing Eric Fuller and sending death threats because he done came out
with death threat.
Yes, he came out on his Instagram and said he is not in charge of editing or casting, and maybe a third point. And on what scenes get cut or added, and if we were gonna hold him accountable, then make sure we're holding him accountable for the right things. So, as the showrunner, maybe Carlos King needs to hop on and let us know exactly what you do then. Because I was under the impression that production helps with edit. Who's doing the storyboards?
Listen, I hear the excuses. I hear the excuses. I hear everything. But this season was trash.
It was trash.
It was trash. So everybody, if you're gonna make the ladies actually have to be held accountable, the production team
has to be held accountable.
The production team in general is gonna be held accountable.
It's gonna be held accountable. I know he keeps saying, "Well, I don't have no choice." Whatever you gave them to edit, or whoever's in charge, is like you're filming,
and then you watched it once it was edited. Did you approve it?
Like, get out of this. It tells you just a cameraman. Yeah, you're in charge of the girls.
And you need to get on set and start doing some extra work because this season was extremely trash.
You should have called an emergency meeting like Carlos King apparently did because this next trailer looks like a lot different. So you should have went to the girls and says this isn't giving what it's supposed to give. I don't understand the storyboards.
Right.
The way it was chopped and screwed and edited, there was no real personal story. It was all over the place. And I don't know if it was DJ Richie Sky, but one of the YouTubers I follow said that Truly Original, I think it was Rodney the Voice, said that their production is good with causing chaos and confusion. And not story.
I agree.
Chaos and confusion.
That actually sounds pretty accurate. But that's it, y'all. 1 hour, we did good. So tomorrow we coming back with another hour for you of hot topics. I'm about to watch The Past. So why don't y'all just get on Peacock and watch it with me? So tomorrow we can talk about this past because Karma's watched it. You know, Candy's her boo. So she definitely has some opinions and I need to know what's going on. Plus, I promised y'all last week I'm going to talk about this Derek Jackson. And Karma is going to make sure I talk about Derek Jackson. So I'm going to talk about this Derek Jackson interview. And we're going to give y'all a few more topics. You muted. You
wasted my time. So we're going to talk about it. I watched both parts. We're talking about that. I don't know how old you is, but she gonna talk about it to y'all.
I got you. So tomorrow, y'all, 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. We going in again on If You Like It, I Love It. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. We love you, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.